So hi guys, magandang gabi sa inyong lahat at nandito ulit ako para mag-discuss ng panibago nating topic tungkol sa developing SQL databases. At ang topic po natin for today ay identifying and analyzing locking issue. So, introduction to this module provides us with the instruction and devices to develop our hands-on skills on the following topic. So for tonight, we have two topics na i-cover. Ito yung number 1 is yung working with SQL Server locks, and number 2 is yung managing locks. So exercise 1. So exercise 1, working with SQL Server locks. So the feature of locking in SQL Server databases enables you as database administrator to lock certain resources such as table, rows, or pages to block other transactions from accessing the resources. So for instances, if a transaction is in progress on a table, you can set a lock on the table to block the resource. So the lock resource becomes unavailable in the database till the lock is released. So SQL Server Database Engine locks the resources using various types of locks modes. So these lock modes help to identify the ways to access database resources in case of concurrent sessions. Some of the lock modes are exclusive X, shared, S, update, intent exclusive, intent share, schema, and bulk update, and so on. So in this exercise, we will work with SQL Server locks. So proceed tayo with the task 1. Task 1, we will identify the database queries holding locks. So in this task, we will work with system queries that involve system tables related to locks. Some of the system tables used in this task as follows. So system partition, system entrance lock, and system exec SQL text. So step 1, ensure you have powered on the required devices and connect to Plub SQL1. And step 2, from the Plub SQL desktop, click start and click Microsoft SQL Server Management Studio. So to connect the server dialog box, i-connect natin ito sa server. Type natin yung database engine and connect to Plub SQL01. Alright, and then press connect. Right, bawasan natin ito. Ayan. So the SQL Server Management Studio open. So in the Object Explorer, click to expand databases folder and click the AdventureWorks DW 2016 CTP3. Oops. Yan. So to create a new query from the create tayo na panibagong query. And the query opens. Ngayon, magka-create tayo ng table using this following query. So this query checks if table name dim product underscore time exists in database or not. So if it exists, the table is deleted and the new table with the same name is created. So the data from dim product underscore time table natin is imported to dim product underscore time table. So execute natin. Yan. So the result is 606 rows affected. So the query is successfully executed and it shows the successful creation of the new table natin. So the data is also imported into a new table. So create tayo ng panibago nating query. And lapag natin ito. Alright, so consider this query as session 1 transaction. So the update statement when executed will update the standard cost of the product based on the where clause. So the transaction will get executed after a delay of 7 minutes and 50 seconds. So run natin ito. Yan, so the result pane is empty as there is delay in the query execution. So i-wait natin yung 7 minutes and 50 seconds. So, stop ko muna yung recording and balikan natin siya. Ayan, so after 7 minutes and 15 seconds delay, so ang lumabas is 1 rows affected. So, step 8 tayo, create a new query. So, type the following query natin ito. So, consider this query as session 2. So, transaction. So, the update statement when executed will update the standard cost of the product based on the where clause. So the transaction will get executed after delay of 7 minutes and 50 seconds. Right, so pag nira natin yan, wala, empty, and then may lalabas dyan mamaya. So hindi na natin hintayin, proceed na tayo with the step 8, create na panibago nating query. So this query, this is a system query. The system tables are joined using inner join. So the cross apply operator is used in this query. So run natin. Ayan. So the query successfully and the result set is displayed. So meaning, it displays the result in that shows the record from the system table natin. So ito lahat po yung record na mayroon tayo dun sa system table natin. So in the Object Explorer window, right click SQL Server Agent. And click SQL Server Agent pala. Then click Start. Tama ba tayo na pinindot? Alright. So click Start. Yes, yes natin. So attempting to start the following on the Flab SQL1. So alright. Step 12, please wait as SQL Server started. Alright. Okay na. So notice the SQL Server Agent is successfully started. So to open the activity monitor tool in the Object Explorer, right click Flab SQL 01. Let's check this image. So right click and click Activity Monitor. Ayan. So the activity monitor is displayed in the right pane. So click Process. Yan. So the process section in the activity monitor shows dynamic data in real-time environment. Right. So notice the session ID 55 shows the lock details. 55. So to view the lock details, right click session ID 55. So, sabi dito, right click session and click details. Yan. So, session details dialog box appears. So, the dialog box displays the details of the session for which the lock is set. So, click close to dialog box and close out the pins without saving the information. Alright. So, next tayo. So, exercise 2, we will manage ngayon yung deadlock. So, deadlock is a situation in SQL Server database natin when two or more sessions are waiting for each other to complete the transaction. So ultimately, none of them can complete unless the database engine solves the deadlock scenario. So for example, consider a simple situation where there are two transactions A and B. Transaction A has applied to a lock mode on row 1 in table X. Okay. So the transaction B has applied a lock mode on row 2 in table X. So now if transaction A wants to apply another lock mode on row 2, it cannot do so because of the already existing lock on row 2. So similarly, this is the case with transaction B is also if transaction B wants to apply another lock mode. Okay. So task 1 agad tayo. Task 1, identify and analyze deadlock using SQL Server Profiler. So in this task, we will perform this following. So malalaman natin yan later. And step 1, to open SQL Server Profiler, click Tools menu and click SQL Server Profiler. Yan. So, SQL Profiler windows, connect to server dialog box appears and default and click connect lang natin. So, trace property dialog box and ito yung papangalan natin sa trace name natin. Yan, and then click save to file. Okay, sorry. And to save a test box appears in the left pane, navigate to local disk C user. So check natin. So desktop pala. So desktop, and click save. Right, and notice the trace file name and path are displayed in the dialog box. Alright, then in the trace properties dialog box, click the event section tab. And event selection tab, then click to uncheck the audit login, and then click to uncheck the audit login checkbox. Yan. So step 7, click the show all events. Ayan. So click to expand the logs node under events column. Ayan. And then under logs, click the deadlock graph. Deadlock graph, and click lock deadlock checkbox. And then scene. Alright, and then click run. Yan, so notice the message trace start. Yan. So notice the message trace is running, appears in the status bar of the window. So trace is running. And then on the taskbar, click the SQL Server Management Studio icon. And to create a new query, create na panabago natin query. Create na panabago natin query. Alright, so consider this query as session 1. Transaction to update statement when executed will update the standard cost of the product based on the where clause. So the transaction will get executed after delay of 7 minutes and 50 seconds. So ito probably empty siya kasi may delay siyang 7 minutes and 50 seconds. And step 12 tayo, create na panabago nating query. And drop natin ito. Mali. Yan, so consider this query as session 2. Transactions to the update statement when executed will update the standard cost of the product based on the where clause. So F5 natin. So empty na naman to. Kasi may delay tayong 7 minutes and 50 seconds. And step 13 ulit muna tayo. Create na panibago nating query. Ayan. So this query will retrieve and displays all the records from the product underscore temp table natin. Then execute. Ayan. So this is the third transaction that is a hit at the database to create a deadlock. So however, the transaction hit is from a single user and not from concurrent user. In step 14 tayo, on the taskbar, click SQL Server Profiler icon. Ito. And in the SQL windows, notice the three transactions that were hit at the end of database. Ayan. So trace has captured all 3 transactions. Step 15 tayo. Notice the lock monitor has set the deadlock property priority for the 3 transactions that were executed. So however, in this sample demonstration, deadlock graph cannot be generated as the transaction hits were single use only. So to generate the deadlock graph in real time, need to simultaneously multiple transactions hit at the same time concurrent. Okay? And that's it. So na-cover natin yung dalawang topic ng working with SQL Server locks and managing deadlock. Thank you.